Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ephemeral Orb. We are on episode 40, actually, so congratulations to us, another times 10 number. We're like 2 months or less than 2 months. Well, by the time you guys will see this video, it'll definitely be less than 2 months away from our 1 year anniversary. So I'm already racking my brain thinking of what special stuff should happen then. Also, coincidentally, we're recording on the same day. Apparently, DoomGoblin informed us that it's Miss Pandaria's anniversary. Yeah, happy birthday, Miss Pandaria. Our campaign is set in Miss Pandaria, so this should all be fortuitous. Now, before we get into our introductions, etc., the usual reminder, dear viewers, this episode is posted on my channel, Teeironor. The next episode shall be posted on Skoll Shorties channel. All our links are in the description below. And the episode after that shall be posted on Sir Thompshire's channel. Again, links in the description below. Then back to me and so on and so forth. So, I wrote some dice in the background. And the dice have decided that of the players who should introduce themselves, Skoll should go first. Could you please go ahead, Skoll?
Yep. Happy birthday, Mr. Pandara, the best expansion ever. I am playing as good old Captain / First Mate Buhd, who is doing pretty alright, despite, getting his eye stabbed a couple episodes ago. He's picking people up and running around and saving the day. Yeah.
I'll actually probably put it on screen just for reference's sake, but one of my favorite renders that Thompshire has made was of Buhd picking up Bladebeard like an American football, and that's a really good one. And
I do like that one a lot too.
It happened last episode, for those unaware. Thank you, Skoll. Next, and speaking of which, would be Sir Thompshire. Could you please go ahead?
Hello. I'm Sir Thompshire, and as always, I'll be playing Benjamin Aaran, who apparently isn't too great at playing hide and seek, but he survived in the end, so that's always good.
Yeah. You guys all decided to hid when you had to seek, pretty much, but we'll get into that. Next would be Zelris. Could you please go ahead?
Hey, I'm Zelris, and I play a cool Blood Elf.
Cool, very traumatized Blood Elf, and I hope we'll start untangling that web this episode. We'll see. Thank you. And next would be DoomGoblin. Could you please go ahead?
Yeah, hello, it's me, DoomGoblin, and I'm playing the football, Captain Bladebeard, who's a Dwarf rogue and sometimes a Dwarf hunter. But yeah.
For all this time I avoided tying you guys to in-game classes. I guess, yeah, Bladebeard would be a rogue hunter. Benjamin would be an arms warrior. I don't know, what would Benjamin be?
I guess it'd be an arms warrior with a very tiny sprinkle of mage.
Sure. Buhd would be Fury Warrior, or sometimes Protection Warrior, depending on his mood, I guess.
I could see him being a warrior and outlaw rogue. Less with the stealth, but more with,
And instead of the little pistol, he has a big cannon. It's the same.
Yeah, And the one time he fires his cannon, devastation happens instead of it just being a small little tap.
Yeah, pretty much. And Zelris, subtlety rogue? I'm not sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Again, I'm not particularly attached to the idea of tying guys to in-game classes because people don't necessarily work like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, as we usually do, we have a recap to read, and I shall be reading it this time. As Ogaga's forces continue to accept the surrender of the crew of a Blood Elf vessel, co-captained by Lyri and Bersar's brother Senfeo, three strangers, somehow linked to Captain Bladebeard's Burning Legion communication device, teleported below deck. Immediately, they attacked the dwarf and the two aforementioned elves, forcing them to retreat. At the same time, an injured first mate, or captain, Buhd, woke up after experiencing a flashback and was praised for his prowess and healed by Zelgaga. The priestess then ordered him, Bladebeard and Benjamin Aaran to deal with the intruders while she returned to her own ship. During these events, Lyri returned to the undead ship under the guise of an invisibility spell after accidentally teleporting her brother there, and there she met with Zelgaga, who forced her to choose a Blood Oath as the crew's next meal, and toyed with her by implying Senfeil could be next. Desperate, the young elf mana-tapped the reanimated corpse of the orc warlock and thus empowered to engage in a brief scuffle with it. The rest of our party, as I mentioned, they preferred to hide and study the seek, but sticking to the script, after a short engagement, initially decided to wait for the mysterious trio to climb upstairs and ambush them, and after a fairly long wait, the other co-captain of the Blood Oath ship, Melwyn Frostshadow, took matters into her own hands and descended after the trio, soon followed by our heroes. Eventually, the intruders were belatedly discovered by Buhd as they were planting a bomb below deck. The resulting green explosion tore the Blood Oath ship to pieces, killing a vast majority of the Blood Oath prisoners and a good chunk of the undead crew. A voice then called out to our party, urging them to jump into the sea to escape, and after they did so, all of them were simultaneously tackled and carried away by sharks. So, I like to, just because it doesn't necessarily favor our storytelling, but I think it would be only natural. What is everyone's reaction to hearing a mysterious voice, jump into the water quickly, and after you do that, you are immediately tackled by sharks? What do you all do? In whichever order you'd prefer, I should mention.
Well, Buhd is holding on to dear life on this shark, I guess, after, an explosion happened.
Makes sense.
Well, I think Benjamin hasn't had proper time to process this, so he just doesn't have very coherent thoughts at the moment, maybe.
A lot happened in the past 10 seconds or so. Bladebeard, Lyri?
Bladebeard thinks that he's being saved by mermaids.
Sure.
Until he sees that it's actually a sea monster. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Lyri?
I don't know. Probably not happy. Being dragged away.
Sort of both in character and above board. The sharks will drag you away together. You guys will see each other eventually, and they will drag you away from the explosion, the undead ship, etc., in the same direction. Do you allow this to happen?
I just hope
yeah,
remember we need to breathe. That's all.
I didn't quite understand you, Thompshire.
I just hope they remember we need to breathe.
Strangely, they don't seem to be biting down on you. They just hold on to you enough to keep you in place, pretty much. And they try to, unusually, they try to swim close to the surface so that you guys don't drown, basically. So unless someone contests the being tackled by a shark, pretty much, you will travel for quite a distance. Would you all be attempting to stay awake at this point? Because it will take quite several hours, this journey.
I mean, is it really possible to fall asleep in a situation like this?
More like the exhaustion would be forcing you to fall asleep rather than, oh, I'm feeling sleepy, I gotta take a nap.
Lyri passes out from stress.
Makes sense.
Can we talk to each other? Are we above water? right?
More or less, but you're like going at fairly high speed. You can, but it might be hard to hear. And you're like focused on like holding on, etc., etc.
All right. I guess Bladebeards go to sleep as well.
Okay.
It's been a long day.
You do have the option of like remaining awake. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it will take several hours, so your character might like give up at one point. Up to you all.
Yeah. All right. He stays awake as long as he can.
Bladebeard, can you give me a careful roll difficulty 6? This isn't particularly important. It's more like to determine. Yeah, it was to determine if Bladebeard realized the direction the sharks were taking you all, pretty much. Yeah.
Do I know like north, west, that stuff?
Because of your role and because it's like cloudy and stormy, etc., etc., you can maybe make your own guesses, but you have no way of verifying them.
All right.
Yeah. Anyone else? Do you all try to stay awake, or do you eventually pass out?
I guess I'll be in that state where you're like falling asleep and then jolt awake and fall asleep again. Something like that, I guess.
Definitely makes sense. But
Bud would try to stay up as long as he can, but would eventually fall asleep.
that makes sense to me. Okay. I will add a new background on the screen. Not that thing. Okay, I need to edit that. Eventually, all of you will pretty much reach shore. Which one of you do you think would like wake up or would have stayed awake long enough to, be woken up first, pretty much?
Probably Benjamin.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, Benjamin, you will you like start coming to. You feel that you're on more or less solid ground, although you do still hear like the sea in the background, if that makes sense. And you hear like a voice like from someone like that's like leaning above you, that's saying, "All right, come on, hurry up, wake up already, come on." And like a few light slaps touching your face.
I kind of just jolt awake and like assume we're like a combat position or something, like just someone scared me awake.
You see this like dwarf that was like standing over you, like recoil a little bit in surprise and say, "Oh, easy there, lad, easy there, lad. I know it can be shocking, the big shark thing bringing you here, but you're safe, trust me."
And you are?
"Oh, my name's... I don't know what my name is, come to think of it. Been here for quite a while. Stopped keeping track of time, honestly. Big Shark Loa brought me here, and now I help all the other people the big Shark Loa brings here. You know how it is."
Where are we?
As you look around, you find yourself on a small island, smaller than in the picture, apparently in the middle of the ocean.
Another island.
It's a fairly small one, like you could walk to the other end in 20 seconds, let's say.
Oh, that's small.
Yeah. The dwarf will nod and say, "I had quite a few guests in the past few days. They ought be hiding behind that rock over there. Gets warmer during the night, you know." And as you look around, you'll see that it's night. You've been traveling for quite a while.
I'll look around for my companions.
You'll see Buhd Bladebeard and Lyri on the shore, as well as the Blood of Archer lady that was with you guys. Oh yeah, they're alive. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Took quite a bit of a swim. You know how it be.
So, what are we supposed to do? We kind of, well, had a bit of a ride.
The dwarf shrugs and says, "Oh, the big shark law has plans for everyone, and he brings to me. Usually they like find a way to get off the island. Sometimes they don't. Me, the shark law like stuck me around. He said he needed a helper to save other like shipwrecked people. You been in a shipwreck?
I guess you could say so.
You hear like voices from like behind the rock. The dwarf pointed out, and the dwarf will yell out, "It's all right. More shipwrecked people, come on out." And from behind the rock, you will see. First off, let me put it on screen. First off, can't find it, but it's your favorite troll, the Rua, if that sounds familiar to you, but I cannot find him for the life of me. And he is followed...
Is that the stinky one, right?
Yep. And he is followed by these two friendly night elves, your friendly neighborhood night elves, as well as... where is it? Where is she? Sorry, everyone. This lady, everyone's favorite orc lady. Feel free to like react while I look for Rua.
I think Bladebeard is the one who needs to react.
Everyone else
Do we
Go ahead.
wake up?
You're free to if you want.
All right. Bladebeard wakes up.
Yeah. As you like groan, the dwarf comes to you and says, "Oh, easy lad, took quite a beating, did you?" He extends a hand towards you.
I take his hand.
He picks you up and says, "Welcome to the Big Shark Loa's island."
Oh, so are we dead?
Oh no. In fact, means you're quite alive. If you're here.
Oh, great.
Big Shark Loa must have had plans for you. He doesn't save everyone.
Yeah. Lately, a bunch of laws have plans for us. But yeah. Better to be here than with that witch.
You will see again the other NPCs like the elves, the orc, and Rua approach all of you. The orc, her eyes widen and she says, "Captain Bladebeard?"
Hello? Oh yeah, you're the, Tayu, right?
"I swore I'd kill you the first chance I'd get." The dwarf then interjects between the two of you and says, "Oh, easy, we're all just shipwrecked people, every one of us. We're all equal here, no grudges here." She continues to glare at you, Bladebeard.
I mean, you can try if you want. I wouldn't, suggest it.
Can we not, Bladebeard?
Alright, I'll not attack. But if she attacks me, I'll defend myself.
Yeah, just don't go around taunting her, please.
Alright.
"In respect for our host and for you," she nods towards you, Benjamin, "for saving my life, I will not kill you this time, Bladebeard."
Thank you.
Bad blood between the two of you?
Not really, I just I killed an old man she was working for.
And Tayu like walks away in a huff. The two Sunsurge twins approach and like extend a hand. The brother extends a hand towards you, Bladebeard.
Oh, glad to see that you're alright.
Happy to see
How
that
you
you're
been?
happy to see that you're alright too, Bladebeard. Do you take his hand?
Yeah.
He drags you suddenly like Donald Trump style, pretty much. If that makes sense.
I guess.
Yeah. And he smiles and laughs at you and says, "Haha, still gets you every time."
Sorry for not coming to you when you said. I was trying to convince other pirates to join us in our invasion, but then the whole undead thing happened.
Oh, it's don't worry about it, Bladebeard. Just how the hell are we going to get off of this island? Benjamin, you will see the Knight of Sister has been like eyeing you up and down in a like not like a flirtatious way, but like she's examining you like you're a piece of meat. Is that?
Next time I will drag my chair. In the meantime, I'll be trying to help Buhd up if he's willing.
Buhd, are you coming to, or are you continuing to sleep? Up to you. You might be muted, Skoll, by the way. Or away, I'm not sure. But meanwhile,
SMH.
yeah, pretty much. But meanwhile, the dwarf will like look at you, Bladebeard, and say, "Oh, it's been a while since I've seen a dwarf here. Where are you from, lad?"
All around really, but I was born in Stormwind.
Ah,
You?
well, I was born in Ironforge. Well, you know how it is, dwarf, all that stuff. But I settled down in Stormwind. Met my wife there. Had a young wee lad. Ugh, maybe the Shark Law will let me see him one day. Who knows? But you know how laws be.
I really don't. I just met my first law a few days ago, I believe. Maybe a week ago.
Nah, suppose it'd be like that. He shrugs and he says, "So, all these people told me their story. Are you also related to the troll witch who wields lightning from the sky or whatever?"
Oh yeah, I am. She took my my crew and turned them into undead corpses.
Oh, heard that before. Don't worry about it. It happens sometimes. You'll get her back. Still, the Shark Law team seems kind of worried about her, more than the last time that happened. By the way,
Well,
go ahead, sorry.
Oh, if he was going to say something, I don't do anything.
He says, by the way, the Shark Law mentioned there'll be another guest coming here, but that she's not shipwrecked. Not sure how that works.
Don't look at me, I don't know how any of this works.
He shrugs and like pats you on the back and says, the Shark Laws be weird like that. You'll get used to it in time. Well, maybe. I hope you don't. I'd rather not see another person stranded on this island like I am. I haven't seen my family in decades, man, lad.
How long have you been here?
He looks around and says, I mean, it's not like I had a calendar with me, lad. I did my best, but I know it's been decades. That's what I can tell you. He points at his beard and says, this didn't used to be so salt and peppery before. All I know to tell you. And I've had a bad ache in my back too. You know how it is.
Ah, well, why didn't the shark law get you out of here?
He shrugs and says, "Oh, I said something about his influence in the world being on the decline or something. I'm not really sure what the affairs of the gods be like. But he asked me to help other shipwrecked people, and that's what I've been doing. He sends them to me, and when they're ready, he takes them away. He promised me that if I do my duty well enough, I'll be able to return to Stormwind to my family, but you know how gods be."
Well, I hope one day you'll meet your family again.
Yeah, hope so.
Maybe when I get a ship, I can get you out of here.
He smiles and says, "Thank you, lad, and trust me, others have offered as well, but I'd really not anger the shark law if I can help it. If when he deems that I'm ready to leave this place, that's when I'll be ready to leave this place."
Alright,
He
just know that I also have family in Stormwind, and you know, maybe I know your son. Maybe we were friends.
Oh, really? Really? Well, it's been several decades. My son must have become a grown man by this point. So, oh yeah, and maybe you're also you're also a grown man. Ever heard of a lad named Moby?
Uh, yeah, I think I have.
He nods and says, he's a good lad. Don't know how he looked like today. Always used to listen to me telling stories about the sea. He dreamed of sailing the sea as well. Hope he didn't grow up in that direction. Maybe he'll end up stranded on an island by a shark lure too. You never know."
Yeah. You never know.
So what's your name, lad?
Captain Bladebeard.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Captain Bladebeard. I wish I could tell you my name, but in all honesty, I've forgotten over all these years. I remember my son's name and my wife's name, Marfa, too. Oh, she's a beauty. But, well, my own name not be that important when you only have yourself on the island for all these decades.
Sure.
He extends a hand towards you to, shake it.
Yeah, I shake his hand.
Yeah.
Kind of confused.
He has a firm grip, but as he pulls close, you notice a very foul stench. This person clearly hasn't bathed in decades, as he's mentioned.
Nice to meet you, old man.
Nice to meet you too, Captain Bladebeard. He points at everyone else and asks, "These your crew?"
Friends, allies, and this here is a blood elf captain that we just met.
What's a blood elf? Heard of high elves. Seen these folk. He points at the Sunsurge twins. Say they're Nyros or something, but never heard of a blood elf.
You've been on this island for a while, I guess. It's a long story.
He laughs and says, "Oh, I have stories to tell you too. But I should tend to your friends first." And he walks to check up on Lyri. How's Lyri doing?
Still unconscious.
Would you say you're coming to, or will you continue to be unconscious for a while? It's up to you.
Unconscious for a while.
Sure.
Mainly because of the Manatap thing that happened last time.
Makes sense.
Very exhausted.
The dwarf leans down and examines you and then turns to Bladebeard and says, "Lad, how about you help me get her deep onto the island? Don't want her to like get swept up by the tide."
Blavey just kind of looks toward the horizon for a second.
It's not.
Did you say something?
He says, "Aye, help me get off her deeper into the island. Don't want her to be taken by the tide in the morning."
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. I help him.
He would take Lyri's shoulders, and I presume Bladebeard would take the legs. Let me know this would wake you up, Lyri. It is again entirely up to you. But yeah, the two dwarves would move you deeper into the island. Skoll, are you back with us?
Testing.
Hey, you're back.
Yep.
My microphone was just acting up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Benjamin went to check up on you. Would you be waking up at this point, or?
He was snoring earlier, but now he's probably getting up, I imagine, from Benjamin's antics.
Yep, you guys feel free to interact for a little bit.
Shark pillow.
I guess so. So, feeling any better?
Pretty better. Do we swim on sharks? Or was that Bud's dream?
No, I'm pretty sure we had a little shark ride.
Would not meet many friendly sharks before, so it's good.
Well, it's honestly hardly surprising after what we've seen these last few weeks, but yeah, I guess it did happen.
Feels like last few years to Buhd.
Yeah. You're right. But anyways, apparently we're stuck on this island. Another island.
Is it Golden Skull? Cause we're tired of that place.
Well, I think we might get tired of this place a little faster.
Therefore,
Oh no.
Therefore, the Knight of Brother will like walk up to you, Bud, and extend a hand to help you up and say, "Bud, you're back with the living."
Oh good, you survive.
Do you take his hand?
Yeah, but grabs his hand.
He tries to do the same thing he did to Bladebeard, but because you're much bigger, it just feels like he's helping you get up. Do you get up?
Yeah, but Bud slowly gets up.
You see like the NPCs hanging around. Just for reference's sake, the orc Tayu is like brooding somewhere. The troll Rua is just like staring silently. The Blood Elf is still asleep. The Knight of Sister is like still staring at Benjamin. The Knight of Brother is like has a like confused expression on his face and says, "So how'd you all end up here? Who are you?" He says to you, Benjamin.
I'm Benjamin Aaran. I guess I'm Bud's crewmate.
The Knight of Sister will walk up to you, uncomfortably close, and like sniff you, like an animal would. To Benjamin, that is.
I guess I squirm a little from that.
Are you a human or an elf?
Human.
I smell elf on you. Don't lie to me.
If we're getting into technicalities, I guess I am a little bit elf.
She says, "Ah, one of those," and she walks away. The brother will say, Oh, don't mind her. All that matters is how good are you in a fight.
Huh.
Well,
Well, I guess I'm decent.
have some pride in yourself, man.
After everything, I think pride is one of the things I've lost these last few days.
He will attempt to kick your legs out from under you. How do you defend yourself?
I guess I'll jump.
Roll me a quick, please. Yeah, you do that with absolute grace. He says, "See, knew you could fight. You had the look of a fighter."
Thanks.
He then turns to Buhd and says, "So Buhd, we're gonna have to catch up one day. Maybe you treat me to a beer once again when we take Buhd Bay back. We just need to get a ship and then we can get going and take Buhd Bay."
Yeah, that sounds good, bud. You take ship and fight demons, and then we drink. Then Bud gets memory back. A good plan.
Dwarf nods. And then he, since everyone else has moved a little bit further inland, he'll like motion with his hand for Benjamin and Buhd to follow further inland.
I guess we'll follow.
Bladebeard, as you and the dwarf set Lyri down, the dwarf will say, "Well, come on, lad. Want to help me with the other wee elf lassie?"
Yeah. Of course, sir.
He nods and says, "Oh, no need to call me sir, and call me if I had a name, call me old Captain Saltbeard. Aye, that's a good name. That's a good name. See, cause my beard's white. You know what I mean?"
Yeah. Makes sense. Salt beard.
He smiles at you and like motions with his hand for you to get the other blood off, Melwyn. Do you do so?
Yeah. I follow him.
As you guys proceed to try to do the same thing, she starts waking up and like jerks violently and like shifts herself awake and yells out something in Fallacian you do not understand. Benjamin, you hear some Fallacian words about like, "Who are you? Where is this place?" etc., etc. She seems very panicked.
Maybe I should check that out.
Oh yeah, Sans Regis. Can you understand her Elvish language?
The Sunsurge brother says something in the Elvish language. Benjamin, you would not understand that. You can deduce that he said it in Darnassian, not in Fallacian. But the Blood Oath lady looks to be furious and like draws a knife that she has hidden in her boots and continues yelling something in Fallacian, sounding very alarmed.
Wait, did she have another knife hidden in her boot, or is it the same knife?
Another one.
Damn, she's stacked.
The dwarf will say, easy there, lass," and he will actually say something in Fallacian. Benjamin, you would understand something about island and friends and shipwreck, something like that.
I guess I'll be a little embarrassed that the dwarf knows how to speak Thalassian better than me.
Yeah, and the Blood Oath lady eventually like calms down and lowers her knife, and the conversation in Fallacian with the dwarf will continue. Benjamin, let me know if you'd like to listen in, just so I can feel if I need to fill you in or not.
I mean, I'm kind of curious, so I'll keep an ear out.
Basically, the dwarf is telling her what he told to you and Bladebeard about big shark things, and again, you don't really understand much of the words, but you get the sense that he's telling more or less the same story.
So he's basically totally fluent.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
That he is. The the night elf brother will spit on the ground and kick at the dirt and would say to Buhd, since Buhd is the closest, never liked those pink-skinned elves. They weird me out.
Yeah, Bud didn't get along with them at first either, but become friends with them slowly. Bud have a rocky relationship with elves. Bud remembers.
Wait, we are elves too, Buhd.
Yeah, but you Bud's friends.
The brother eases up a little bit. And the sister also has a similarly disdainful look and says, "Our mother used to tell us stories about the pale-skinned elves. Well, before I had to kill her."
I'll just look away.
She doesn't notice you. She continues glaring at the blood elf lady. And the brother will put a shoulder on the sister's, an arm on the sister's, a hand on the sister's shoulder, sorry, to try to calm her down and say, "Easy, Durana, we're all in this together at this point. Who knows, maybe we can use them to retake Buhd Bay. Could be good cannon fodder."
I'll whisper to Buhd. I guess taking Buhd Bay back is important, but kind of left Ridi behind and Lyri's brother.
Lyri has a brother.
Yeah, apparently. We should ask her about that when she's up.
What wonders if Bud has siblings?
Do you say this out loud, Bud, or in whispered conversation?
In whispered conversation.
Okay.
I hear ogres can have two heads. Does that make them siblings, or are they the same person?
Bud think it's siblings. But no, yeah, Bud remembered it mostly siblings, I think.
Huh. Ogres are a bit strange.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. What is Bladebeard doing at this point, by the way?
Listening to people talking in Thalassian. Can I don't know if this would work. Remember when I used that stunt with the dark presence to teach me how to use Benjamin's orb?
Yeah.
Can I ask him to teach me Thalassian? Would that work?
Give me a moment to think about this.
All right. If it doesn't make sense.
It would,
Sure.
but it wouldn't be a straightforward process. That's what I'm trying to think about, basically. So the answer would be yes, but there will be some asterisks involved, basically.
There will be some.
Sorry? Some...
There would be some. What?
Asterisks, how should I say this? Conditions isn't the right word, but some other stuff would happen, basically. And I need to think about that. Yeah, you would, as you like ask the presence in your head for help, you would start to like gradually understand the language that the dwarf and the blood oath are speaking, and gradually the words like it's almost like you hear blah 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 island. We are stuck on blah 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 blah, and we are now waiting for the shark law. Like it's a very gradual progression towards full understanding. Okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
And now you understand what they're speaking. Again, to recap, the dwarf is telling the elf pretty much the same thing that he told you about the shark loa, about being stuck on the island, and like trying to exchange pleasantries. And the elf introduces herself, but she still seems very wary. That makes sense.
I say in Thalassian, hey, elf, don't need to worry.
She glares at you.
We are friends. We didn't want to attack your ship.
And yet you did anyway.
We were forced by our captor.
She sighs and says, well, you were too bumbling to truly be hostile, I suppose.
I tried to kill. I actually didn't kill anyone, right? I didn't kill anyone on her ship, right?
Yeah, actually, I don't think you did, yeah.
Yeah, I was just fighting her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tried to make sure that your people survived, but you know.
And yet they didn't.
I mean, some of them might still be alive.
She will say like a short phrase that probably doesn't have like a direct translation into English or common, but you would understand it as like something to the likes of rest their souls, something like that. She believes, aka she believes they're dead.
Also, I love the like the scene of Benjamin being embarrassed that a dwarf knows better Thalassian than him, and then Bladebeard starts talking Thalassian.
Yeah, thank God I'm not there anymore.
Oh, all right. I can maybe try to check up on them, on Zugalga and your crew.
How would you do that?
Give me a moment. I'll I guess close my eyes and try to connect with Brignir.
As you try to do that, you still feel the connection is there, but it's much, much weaker, you presume because of the distance. You would come to the conclusion that, like, based on this connection, that if, like, you ever meet Frignir again, yeah, he will be loyal to you and serve you. And you have, like, a vague idea of where Frignir is. Vague as in, oh, he's to the north, or he's to the east, or he's to the west, but you don't know more specifics. Currently, he is to the southwest, yeah? And unfortunately, because of the frayed connection, you aren't able to, like, realize what's going on his end. You just know, oh, there's still a slight connection there.
I'm sorry, it didn't work. I know that they are southwest of here. That's all I know.
The blood rolls her eyes and says, and where is here? The dwarf says, here is here, lass. In Thalassian, obviously. Sorry, can't be more specific. I know we're in the middle of the sea somewhere. The elf looks at you, Bladebeard.
I don't know where we are either. Obviously, north of Golden Skull and... No. Wait. We are southwest of Golden Skull, right? I don't know.
Are you asking
Somewhere
me?
in the sea.
Are you asking me, the DM, or are you asking her?
No. I mean, yeah, sure. Where are we?
Well, you
In
traveled.
the...
You traveled with
Yeah.
Zulgaga north, and then you shifted direction in a direction you didn't quite pick up on, and from there, since Frignier's to the southwest, you presume you traveled northeast.
Oh yeah. Makes sense. I don't know where we are. Sorry.
But if you mention Golden Skull out loud, both the dwarf and the blood elf will look at you because Golden Skull is a secret Blackwater Raiders place and they have no idea what that is.
Never mind. I have no idea where we are.
Join the party, lad. He taps you on the back. He says that in common, anyway. The elf will roll her eyes and ask, anything to eat? And the dwarf will say, oh, aye, the big shark law provides me with supplies every now and then. And he, like, motions for her to follow him.
Yeah, I'll follow as well.
Benjamin and Buhd, and Lyri if Lyri decides to... Well, if Lyri decides to wake up, that's a whole different thing. Let me know if you ever decide to wake up Lyri. Benjamin and Buhd, you will see the dwarf leading the elf and Bladebeard. Somewhere towards like the middle point of this small island, and he starts like digging with his hands.
What you doing?
Should be around here somewhere. Ah, there it is. He pulls out crate, for lack of a better term, like a wooden chest, I'll say. Opens it up, and inside you find there's a bunch of like meats and such that he extends to each and every one of you. Bounty of the big shark, Loa. Come on, eat your fill. Eat your fill. Thompshire, you just came back. The dwarf dug a little bit and uncovered a crate filled with like meats.
This isn't a person, right?
It's whatever the big shark law brings me. Could be a person, could be a fish. I honestly don't know. And well, you need to eat what you need to eat to survive. You know that some sharks are cannibals, right? So wouldn't surprise me if it's a person.
Thanks, I guess.
The two Night Elf siblings like walk forward to accept the meat without like any objection. The elf looks confused and asks in Fallacian. Again, Buhd wouldn't understand and Benjamin wouldn't understand pieces. What's this meat? And the dwarf would say pretty much the same spiel, and the blood elf would look disgusted.
Oh, good food, but hungry.
Aye, plenty to go for everyone all around. The great shark law will keep us all fed. It's rare I had so many shipwrecked people here before, though. Well, what can you do?
Yeah, lots going on.
He nods vigorously and gives you a piece of meat, and he extends one towards Benjamin too.
Bud takes his happily and goes for a bite.
And I'll reluctantly take mine and stare at it for a bit.
And he offers the same to Bladebeard as well.
Yeah. Thanks. I guess Bladebeard will eat as well.
Benjamin, you just heard Bladebeard say thanks in Fallacian.
I can just perk my ear a bit to see if I heard that right.
I asked the blood elf lady in Thalassian, are you a vegetarian or why won't you eat the meat?
Because it could be someone, dwarf. Are you daft?
I mean, we don't have anything else. It's
But
a
am I
deserted
hearing
island.
this right?
She grumbles and walks away for a little bit. To the opposite corner of the island, which isn't particularly far. She just like walks away and like stares at the ocean for a little bit. The dwarf will say, "Oh, she'll come round to it eventually."
Bladebeard?
I
Since when can you speak Thalassian? Didn't like we have trouble communicating like a few hours ago?
with who?
As- Before to interrupt you, Bladebeard said "I" and with who in Thalassian.
Are you making fun of me, Bladebeard?
No.
He said no in Thalassian.
It's fine, I get it. You can speak Thalassian and I can't. It's funny, I know, okay. Just... Why couldn't you speak it earlier?
I could.
He says in
I just-
Thalassian.
I just chose not to.
He says in Thalassian.
You really are an asshole, Bladebeard. And Nala, kind of slightly angrily, bites the whatever meat I'm holding.
Yeah, Bud, if you were listening to the conversation, Bladebeard's end was gibberish to you.
You guys talking gibberish again?
Apparently, your beloved captain is a fluent Thalassian speaker.
Konzuktai.
The dwarf will say, "Oh, well, it's normal for ship captains to learn trade languages. I mean, what else are you gonna do on a ship unless you're trading after all?"
Bud knows some Orcish. That's about it.
Oh yeah, Orcish. Yeah. Those people came around kind of recently. I've had a few shipwrecks from those people before, but I was so surprised to see someone with green skin show up. Whew, can't imagine.
Well, you never met goblins? Like before orcs came?
Well, I should say someone with green skin he points at Benjamin, of like that height.
Yeah, makes sense. Orcs do kind of look like forest trolls. We had those before.
Bladebeard says all of this in Thalassian, and the dwarf will nod and say, but I've never met a forest troll before, honestly. I never really ventured to like that side of Lordaeron. I usually, when I used to travel, used to make port in a place called Stratholm. Oh, what a shame what happened to it. Heard from a few refugees at one point.
What did happen to it? This Stranglethorn.
Bladebeard says in Thalassian. Above board I said Stratholm. Did you...
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Okay.
I thought, yeah. Stratholm, alright.
Yeah.
I don't ask him.
Yeah, okay. The dwarf will then shrug and begin carving a piece of the meat for himself as well. After he's given it to all of you. He'll say, do me a favor, when the wheel lass wakes up, point her in the right direction for the towards the food, and he taps the chest. No comment? Alright then. More for me.
So, what should we do next? We can't stay on this island.
Bladebeard says in Thalassian.
Oh god, I forgot about that again. You know, Bladebeard, it stopped being funny quite a while ago.
What?
He asks in Thalassian.
What do you mean, what?
Do I realize that I can't speak common?
No, but like in your mind at this point you don't even like realize the distinction between common and Thalassian. Like when the elf was speaking earlier, she was speaking practically like she was speaking common in your mind.
Yeah.
Again, Bud, to you, anything Bladebeard says sounds like gibberish.
Gesundheit, Bladebeard.
The dwarf will like finish hiding the chest again and say, "Oh, well, nothing to do except wait for the big shark lord to give us a sign again. Sure, he'll have someone rescue you all in no time. You know how it is."
Well, hopefully before everyone we know is killed or, well, worse.
Aye, getting killed is not fun, and I do have the big shark lord to praise for that, right?
Honestly, being stuck in an island for the rest of my life, well, maybe death can be a bit better.
Oh, I don't mind it as much. I mean, I get to help people, and eventually, if the big shark lord deems it, I'll get to see my son and my wife again someday.
Well, you've been here for like, well, I don't even know how many years. I don't think you're going home anytime soon, I'm afraid.
He says, well, if it helps you like get a scale of time, I heard that Stormwind was being invaded by Gnomes like a few years after I wound up here.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Above board, that was like 70, 60 years ago, give or take.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Dwarf nods and says, you tend to lose track of time here. Have to find other ways to amuse yourself, you know how it is.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess we'll try talking to the shark Loa about your situation.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm sure he'll send me home when he needs me to. When my duty's done, that's when I'll go home.
If you say so.
He coughs for a little bit and says, "No, don't worry. So, what's your last story?"
Well, honestly, it's a bit hard to sum up the events of the last few weeks, but well, there was this auction in Buhd Bay. Are you familiar with it?
Oh, the two purple skinned elves mentioned something about it.
Well, that auction kind of brought about some sort of small-scale demon invasion. Then we were on the run for a bit. We ended up on an island for a while. We went to Westfall. You know, it was quite a handful.
Demons. You're saying demons like the stuff you hear the mages talk about, like, oh, don't practice magic, you'll summon a demon, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff.
I guess so.
I guess demons are more common now than they used to be.
Bladebeard says in Thalassian. The dwarf will say, "Oh, that sounds terrifying. Kinda glad I'm not back there. Oh, but Hope my boy and my wife's also alright now. If there's demons everywhere, like you all mentioned.
I mean, they are. We defeated them a few times, right? They are. They just keep failing. I don't think they'll ever conquer Azeroth, right?
No, that's good news then.
But yeah, there's a bunch of new good stuff in the world as well, since you've been gone. Like I don't know if you probably heard of Kalimdor, right?
Bladebeard says all of this in Fallacian, and Benjamin, bigger the words, the more you don't understand what he's saying, by the way. The dwarf,
Yeah, at this point I'm not listening anymore.
the dwarf will nod and say, my Kalimdor. Well, you know, the legends that Lalan used to be one, and the Lamas used to be called Kalimdor.
Yeah, I mean, there is a continent called Kalimdor, and we now...
Aye, 10,000 years ago, I know.
No, it still exists. It's west of Eastern Kingdoms.
Oh. I'd very much like to go there. What's the
Yeah,
Eastern Kingdoms, by the way?
What?
What's the Eastern Kingdoms, by the way?
Oh, that's the land you're from.
No,
The land.
I'm from, like I mentioned, I'm from Stormwind and Ironforge.
Yeah, I mean, Stormwind and Ironforge are in Eastern Kingdoms. That's the continent, the
Oh,
big island.
What's that what you call it now? Alright.
Yeah.
Fine. Sure. Everything
Like-
Bladebeard says is in Fallacian for Benjamin and Bud's sake. The dwarf was asked, by the way, lad, why are you speaking the elf language? No, there are no elves here. You're upsetting the wee lad over there, he points at Benjamin.
Wait, what? I'm speaking in common, the language that everyone understands.
No, you're speaking in the Fallacian. I'd recognize that language everywhere. Used to have a wee lass on my ship that only Fallacians spoke even. Yeah, you know how it is.
I'll try to focus and say something in common.
Mhm. Give me a clever roll.
Yay, clever. One.
What do you try to say in common?
What would testing?
You would say that in common.
Oh, it worked.
Bladebeard says O and it in common and worked in Fallacian. Something's wrong with you,
Am I-
lad.
Am I speaking common now?
Am I speaking is in common, the word common is in Fallacian. Benjamin and Bud, you guys are also on the scene if you want to interact.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed.
Is he no longer speaking crazy?
I don't care anymore.
Morgan will not Morgan, sorry, I spoiled the dwarf's name, my bad. The dwarf will lean down to inspect Lyri, and he'll say in common, oh, she looks to be out for a while. Where'd you all... I heard about a troll witch and all that, but Really to be sleeping for this long? Zelris, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're free to wake up at any point you'd wish. But if you don't want to, that's completely fine. The dwarf will get up and say, well, let's wait for the one the big shark Loa mentioned will show up, I suppose.
Bud makes sandcastle in the meantime, then.
Above board, it'll take like another hour until this new person will show up. Do you guys do anything until then?
I'll,
I
take
begin
more
to
later.
slowly wake up, I guess.
Okay. As
But
you-
it's over a long period of time. It's not instant.
Mhm.
It's like
Um,
20 minutes or something.
You will not be disturbed by the NPCs. When you do eventually like fully wake up, you will see this dwarf like standing next to you, almost like keeping watch. And as you like start to open an eye, and he will say in Fallacian, "Oh, back among the living, are we? Hello there."
I roll my eyes and close them again.
Ah, had a rough day. I know how it is. Don't worry about it. You want something to eat, or would you like to sleep more?
In like a moment, I kind of snap up and start looking around frantically.
You will see, you'll find yourself, well, first off, it's night. Second off, you are on a very small island, and you see the cast of characters that is on screen and the other player characters. For context, the troll and the orc and the other blood elf are like still brooding, and the two night elf twins are arguing with each other and like shoving each other.
I put my ears down in frustration. Like I yank them down.
Oh, it's alright, it's alright. No need to hurt yourself. The big shark law will save you as he saved me and he saved everyone else here.
I try and get to my feet and walk to the shoreline again.
He will offer to help you, but you're free to ignore his offer if you'd like.
I will ignore his offer.
If you walk to the shore, are you walking to someone or are you just going alone?
Going alone.
All the other player characters also see this if need be. But none of the NPCs will disturb you, at least not right now.
I look out into the horizon.
It is night time, so I can't like tell you like cardinal points or whatever.
So I can't see anything.
Pretty much.
I start swearing and muttering under my breath. I'm very upset.
Eventually, after like a few minutes, unless one of the player characters bother you, you will see the Blood of Archer lady approach you out of the corner of your eye.
Okay, she can approach, I guess.
She says, "So you're a Lady Ember Sorrow."
I kind of tilt my head in her direction and kind of give her a manic look.
She looks like genuinely a little bit scared and surprised and says, "How couldn't... Why were you with those undead? Why were you with the attackers? I saw that you didn't attack us, but why were you there?"
Ugh. I've just been trying to get back somewhere, but I had to join a group of pirates to get back home, and we got taken hostage by that troll.
She sighs and says, "Well, guess I should have figured. What is... If I dare ask, what is an Ember Sorrow doing here, where you are. You weren't on a mission by the Region Lord too, were you?
Me? A mission? I roll my eyes.
I mean, I've heard the stories about your family. You're all supposed to be mighty warriors or whatever. Well, your brother wound up being a mage, but I figured he was the exception.
You heard wrong.
She sighs. Go ahead, sorry.
And I sigh.
You both sigh simultaneously. She'll say, didn't know your brother for very long. Honestly, this was our first mission, so I didn't get to know him. I'm sorry. I figure he perished in the explosion too.
I think he's fine for now, but trust me, I'm in the same boat.
I will mention, I will admit I forgot a little bit about this. Lyri, you would feel a stinging sensation from your arm, and Buhd, you would feel the same stinging sensation from your back.
I kind of look up at my arm, or at least try and see what's up.
You, for lack of a better term, you see a portion of your arm, not a big portion, like several dots on your arm, where it looks like for lack of a better term again, your skin is dead or dying.
I kind of look at it for a little while and take a big gulp and just ignore it. Or at least try to.
The Blood Elf will notice you doing that and will ask, something wrong?
No, it's all fine. Everything is just fine.
She
And
sighs.
I grit my teeth.
She sighs and says, well, I suppose we only have each other in this group of strangers. That dwarf kept talking about a shark god or something like that. Vile things.
I just kind of ignore her.
Do you need a weapon, just in case?
No.
She notices your, agitated tone and says, alright. Well, if you need me, Lady Ember Sorrow, I guess you'll know where to find me.
This what? I kind of look at her and I look really puzzled.
She says, did I say something wrong?
Why are you treating me like this?
Well,
Just because I'm a sibling of the captain? I kind of put I kind of face palm a bit and...
Well, we've all heard the stories, frankly, about your family's long and dedicated story to the defense of Kofalas, etc., etc. Honestly, it's been drilled in my head when I was training in the Far Striders too many times already. And, well...
You mean my dad, right?
Well... I mean,
who else is of great acclaim?
Well, your father's father and his mother before him, and so on.
Yeah, right.
You notice when you ask about your dad, she looks a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. They're totally talking about some generic old... whatever.
She raises up her arms in a gesture of I didn't mean anything, and say, I apologize. Right.
No, it's fine.
Well, If you need me, feel free to ask. And she will start walking away.
Okay.
But I also mentioned that you feel a stinging sensation from your back.
Bud's back hurts.
Are you nearby any of the player characters or any of the NPCs?
I mean,
I figured he'd be near Benjamin. Somewhere.
Yeah, I guess I'm a bit sore from all of that as well.
Bud can't look at Bud's back. But try before. It's not as easy.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone can look at their backs. I mean, that bird person we met maybe could, but aside from that.
Lucky bird persons.
Yep. Just keep in mind, Bud, for the future that your back hurts. And Lyri's arm hurts as well. Just something to keep in mind. Unless nothing else is done for that. Again, and do any other interactions happen until the person the dwarf talked about shows up?
Not really.
I kind of pace up and down the island a little bit. Very, very frustrated.
Mm-hmm. You will see of the NPCs, the Blood Elf lady tries to not look you in the eye, pretty much. The Night Elf twins glare at you whenever you walk near them. The orc ignores you, and the Zandalari troll looks at you with what you think is concern, but you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
And the dwarf is busy balancing the knife he has on the tip of his finger. Again, let me know if you want to interact with anyone. This includes the player characters if they like to interact too.
I would like to talk with the elf twins and tell them everything that happened since I last met them, I guess.
Well, when you walk up to them, unless they're glaring daggers at Lyri, they're arguing with each other in their native language and shoving each other. You're not entirely sure if they're arguing or just having fun, pretty much. When you approach, yeah, they would listen to your story, no issues. And at the end, the Night Elf sister will say, "So we have another person to kill, this Sulgalga person, right?"
Yeah. And I hope we do it soon.
Sooner would be better, says the brother. You've been through quite a lot, Bladebeard. Maybe you could join our crew after all this is done. Not like you have a ship anyway. And the sister will say, "We don't have a ship anymore either." And the brother has this realization on his face that, oh yeah, we don't have a ship anymore.
Yeah. We are 3 shipless captains.
The brother will say, well, 2 captains and 1 first mate. The sister will say, "Yes, and I'm the captain and you're the captain, Bladebeard." And the brother will say, "No, I'm the captain. We've been through this." And they will start arguing once again in their native language.
Also, throughout my story, do I still speak half common, half Thalathian?
Well, you wouldn't know that, but they do understand what you're saying.
Oh, alright.
So I can't answer that question, but they do understand you, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else till this hour passes?
I guess I'll rejoin Benjamin and Buhd.
Mm-hmm. Give me a careful...
They are building sandcastles, right?
Buhd is, I don't know about Benjamin.
what Bud does to entertain himself.
Can you give
Yeah.
me a careful check, Bladebeard?
Oh, 4.
You notice that something's wrong with Bud's back.
Can you be more specific?
Well, it depends. Do you look closer? You just
Yeah,
notice something's off.
Sure.
Yeah, if you look closer, it seems as if like a splash on Bud's back, in the shape of a splash that is just dead or dying skin.
But I think you've been hurt. Somebody did something to your back.
Oh, that's probably why it's stinging.
It looks pretty bad. I don't know if any of these people are healers or medics, but you should see one.
We can look around, but not sure if we have any healers.
Maybe the troll? I don't know.
Benjamin is also on the scene, by the way.
Oh, I guess that does look pretty bad.
Can you give me a careful check, Benjamin? Okay. All I can tell you.
But go ask around if anyone can heal Bud's back.
Mm-hmm. Who do you ask?
He goes to the smelly troll first, because that was the first suggestion.
He notices you approach and like pats the ground next to him as if like feel free to sit down, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, Bud sits down.
Yeah, and he continues to stare at the sea in silence, but now with a slight smile on his face now that he has a companion.
Do you know any healing or medical things? Bud's back stings bad.
Oh, got stuck in some algae, Bud?
Bud no think it algae.
Well, he like makes a motion for you, the motion of like turn around.
Yeah, Bud turns around and sits back down to show, showing his back to the troll.
You hear a gasp of surprise from behind you, and say, "Bud, what happened to you?"
Well, a lot happened to Bud in recent weeks, but I think well, Bud ran away from burning ship or exploding ship, and Bud didn't have burning sensation before it, so it must have happened after ship go boom.
I will mention it would have been around that time, but because of the heat of the moment and all of that, you wouldn't have noticed. Make sense?
Yeah.
The troll shakes his head and says, "That's not something I can heal. You need a priest, or you need the aid of the Loa. Well, my Loa can't really help you with that."
Well, I don't think anyone else is healer or medical person on island. But maybe Bud can ask Big Shark for help.
The troll like looks thoughtful for a little bit and says, "Yes, Johnny tells me that help will be arriving and that you don't need to worry. But still, that be something, Bud, what you have got on your back."
Oh, I can't even see it. That might be good though.
Look like you got the touch of Bon Samdi on your back, man.
Is that not a good thing?
Not a very bad thing.
Oh no.
The expression on Rua's face is, yeah, one very concerned.
Well, hopefully, help can help Bud.
He nods. Sorry, I can't help you more, bud.
Well, at least you try, which is always good.
He goes back to sitting down, but now with a concerned expression.
Bud then, waves goodbye and returns to, Benjamin and, Bladebeard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, man. Go ahead. Sorry.
He say it, really bad and, need big help to, get it healed.
Should we maybe burn it off?
Bladebeard says, should we maybe something off?
Really, Bladebeard, that's not funny. This is serious.
Yeah, I mean, it's not supposed to be funny. He's hurt. Fire sometimes work
He
on these
says,
things.
yeah, I know it's not supposed to be something, sometimes something.
Bless you.
What's going on, guys?
You're hopeless, Bladebeard.
Can you not understand me?
Can you not something me?
Can I not what's Bladebeard?
Why is he talking like that? It's like gibberish and not gibberish.
Bladebeard just thinks it's funny flexing his language skills or whatever.
I'm confused now.
I'm something now. Again, let me know if you guys want to fast forward a little bit or if you guys want to continue interacting. It is up to all of you.
We could probably fast forward, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Eventually, like after a few minutes of just sitting around, you see a big wave approach the island. The dwarf will like look up and say, "Oh, there she is, the one the big shark Loa kept talking about." And as I'm sure most of you probably guessed, everyone's favorite priestess will wash up on the shore, like coughing up seawater.
Oh, hey, it's the nice troll lady.
She continues coughing.
Does she need the Heimlich?
Can't get used to that. Oh, hello, Olga. Hello, beloved, she says to you, Benjamin.
I'll be very red.
Do Bladebeard and Lyri also approach?
Yeah, Bladebeard does.
Hello, Goblin lover.
Hello. I say in Talastian.
She says something in Zandali. Something brief that you obviously don't understand. The dwarf will say, "Well, that's not very nice."
What? I just said hello.
He'll say, "No, what she said." Lyri, are you also on the scene, or are you in your own world? Zelris?
Oh, I'll watch from a distance, but I won't, like,
Okay.
approach, I guess.
Yeah. She like the troll like starts getting to her feet. The dwarf offers to help her, but she like shoves him off. Clearly very determined to stand on her own 2 feet. And as she does so, she says, "I'm guessing you been knowing on what business I be here."
With everything going on, I guess it is obvious.
Yep.
She will say, "The demons in Booty Bay, they returned to Booty Bay because of the hurricane. They can't be advancing in this weather. So we be in a stalemate for now. But I think we can all agree that they be a bigger problem. My sister."
Well, have you heard the news about her? She's got a new artifact for her pocket.
What artifact?
It's a knife. She calls herself Zelata, and well, she doesn't wield very nice magic.
Never heard of anything like that. She says as she like continues groggily getting to her feet. If you were paying attention, you will notice that you notice in the dream that her like lightning blue tattoos are no longer lit up. They're very pale in color. As she continues to do so, to rise up, she'll say, "Well, as you can probably see, Graal agreed to help us, the Lord of the Sea, but not many others."
So, what now?
Well, there are few more. Well, there's one more that agreed to help us. My grandfather's master. And there's a few more I haven't contacted yet, but she looks down sheepishly. Loa, they not be liking when a troll who worships one of them asks something of another one. Well, except Gonk. That's why they not be really responding to me. And I thought for these 4, I could ask for your help as outside observers. She looks at all of you to see what all of you say.
Well, at least we have help now, because Bud's back really not good.
She looks at you and says, "Does it look like we have time for your back?"
Oh, are you like a healer, right? You're a priest. Yeah, I think his back is like cursed or something.
She once again has like a sheepish expression on her face and says, "My power comes from Miloa, and Miloa can't reach him right now. But maybe one of the other Loa be willing to help."
So wait, other lower gods don't want to speak with you because you worship one of them already, right?
Well, except Gonk. He thought the
Yeah,
dark,
that's the dinosaur one, right?
he taught the Darkspear tribe to worship multiple Loa at once, and she like rolls her eyes as if that's something ridiculous. But she says that, but otherwise that's just something that's not done. begged and asked for help, but most of them not be listening. By the way,
since
go ahead.
no, continue.
By the way, when Gonk gave us that dream, there were two more of you. Where's the mage and the elf?
Well, the elf should be somewhere around here, and the mage stayed behind on Zulgaga's ship.
She looks up now and now notices Lyri and starts walking determinedly but still limping towards Lyri.
I'll kind of eye her up, I guess.
Yeah. She walks up to you and says, and also eyes you up and down and says, "The Loa believe that you have a part to play, so I'll be listening to them. Who are you?"
We met before.
"Yes, but I don't know your name."
Ugh, Lyri.
She has an annoyed expression and says, "High Priestess Hekala. I be Zulgaga's sister."
Well, it's nice to meet you.
She humps at you, and of the other player characters, have you guys followed, or did you stay behind?
I guess I'm just looking.
If you guys stayed behind, Hekala will grab Lyri by the arm and start. Unless Lyri resists, she will start dragging her towards the rest of the group.
I probably wouldn't resist. No, Lyri wouldn't resist.
Okay. Out of the corner of your eye, Lyri, you would see the blood of Archer give you a look of concern, and you see that she's debating whether she should intervene or not.
I kind of shake my head at her.
Okay.
Say no.
She stands down in that case. Okay. As Hekala drags you to the rest of the group, she will say, "So, where should we begin? We have." She cuffs her a little bit and says, "We have 4 Loa that we can still contact, and I'd like to ask your help. But..." She hesitates and says, "One of the Loa I asked has thrown in its lot with Zulgaga."
What? Oh, one of the gods is on her side?
Yes, she sighs. "Dambala, the treacherous snake."
What is he a god of?
Treachery, funnily enough.
Oh, so he'll betray her.
I don't know
So
about that.
and so will the dagger probably. Great.
I still don't know what dagger you be talking about. Anyway, so there be. She looks at all of you. What is everyone's expression at the moment?
Really, annoyed, angry, pissed off, peeved off.
Mm-hmm.
Smiley face.
Buhd, Bladebeard, Benjamin.
I guess I'm just thinking.
Bladebeard, go ahead.
Bladebeard is interested in what she has to say.
And Buhd?
And Buhd is mostly irritated by his stinging back.
Hekala sighs and says, "Well, if 2 of you aren't paying attention, what's the point in all this? We should let Zulgaga rule the seas after all, right?"
No. We should kill her.
She
Right.
has She hesitates for a little bit, but then says, "Yeah, we should kill her. Yeah." The dwarf will walk up and says, "Well, the big shark law agreed to help you lot, but and I guess I'm his speaker, so I'm interested." And you will also see the Zandalari troll walk up, and he says nothing, but Lyri, you hear in your mind the familiar whisper of a tiny raptor that says, "I got your back, man."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will acknowledge it in my head.
Mm-hmm. Hekala will sigh and say, "Well, there be." She coughs for a little bit and says, "Well, I can still count. Well, there's Befek, and well, Johnny, which I don't want to contact, being honest." The Zandalari troll will say, "Johnny be with us even now." And Hekala rolls her eyes and says, "Ah, great. 3 lower then, not 4. So there's Betek, then 2 more that I'm not sure we should be contacting, but I leave it up to you. There's..." She sighs and says, "The reason things be going wrong with the Gurubashi lately, there's..." She says with like half-heartedly, "Hakar. And there be another one that's frankly forgotten. I'm not even sure what his name is, but we can contact him too if need be."
I know.
She looks at Benjamin, Bladebeard, and Buhd to see what they think as well.
I don't know. Contacting a forgotten Lois seems a bit dangerous.
At this point, I think we need all the help we can get, but I leave the decision up to you. I can act as the intermediary, but but don't think they'll be listening to me.
I mean, I would like to talk with some gods and convince them to fight for us, or on our side. Right.
Sound like plan to Buhd.
She will glare at you, Bladebeard, and say, "The Loa will graciously bestow their aid upon us. They will not fight for us." Is that clear?
Yeah. Sure.
So who do we start with?
So we have one that you can't remember his name, and what's the other one?
There is Betek. There is, she says again with the second one, she says with like half-heartedly, Hakar. And there be the forgotten one.
Who's this first one you mentioned?
She sighs and says, she be the matron of the Panthers of Stranglethorn. She sighs, the reason I not be contacting her up till now was that we Gurubashi we didn't do her justice in the past few years.
Well, since she's the matron of the Panthers, wouldn't she care about not Booty Bay, but Stranglethorn?
She shrugs and says, I haven't asked her yet.
Well, that does seem like a safe bet to me, at least.
She sighs and nods, and the dwarf will say, well, we can make a small ritual site closer to the center of this little island, for lack of a better term. Come on. And he walks like towards more to the center of the island, not at the shore, and Hekala follows. as does Rua. What do you guys do?
Oh, we're doing it now, I guess.
Apparently no one responds to you. Do you follow?
Oh, Bladebeard follow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
but-
I'll follow.
Yeah, but we'll follow too.
Okay. As you guys get to the center of the island, the Blood Elf and the Night Elves like give you strange looks. The orc still seems to be brooding. And Hekala makes like some patterns in the sand and starts reciting something in Zandali that you guys obviously wouldn't understand. This will go on for like a minute. Let me know if you guys do anything in this minute. But otherwise, eventually, you all will see the shape of a panther appear in front of you. Unlike the image, it is translucent, like transparent. And the image looks at each and every one of you and says, "I have come as you asked, little Gurubashi. Why have you summoned me?" And Hekala says, "Great Betek, we would like to petition your aid." And she gestures to the group of you to like make the case.
Whoa.
Hello.
Have you gathered a group of imbeciles, priestess? What is this? Hekala says, No. Befek will say, "I know you are the priestess of Shango. Why have you come to me? Haven't you, Gurubashi, done enough to me?" And Hekala looks at all of you like, "Say something already."
Sorry, go ahead.
The demons are in your forest. You know that, right?
Not anymore. The power of Shango has driven them off. They are in your intruding town at the southern tip of the jungle. They are of no concern to me anymore.
Yeah, but
To our understanding, their retreat was temporary. And it's only a matter of time till after the storm clears, they'll be back in your forests.
Then I will deal with that problem when it arrives. Who are you?
Well, I'm Benjamin Aaran, and this is it's your cue, Bladebeard.
I am Captain Bladebeard.
By the way, above board, Bladebeard, you're back to speaking common, by the way, to everyone else. Befek takes you all in. The dwarf will say, if I remembered my name, I could tell you, milady. Befek scoffs and says, "I can sense the touch of Grawl upon you anyway. And the touch of Johnny upon you," she says to Rua. And then she turns towards Lyri and says, "You have also been touched by Johnny. How come? What does the Loa of Trash want with someone like you?"
I kind of sigh and pow my lips up a little bit.
Befek looks away towards Buhd and says, "And who are you?"
Hello, I'm Buhd.
Well, Well,
I-
at least you got introductions out of the way after you've been prompted, so I see no reason why I should help you. You seem to have the demon situation in hand with the power of Shango at your beck and call.
No, wait. Shango is gone, right? Shango is has been captured, right? What's going on with Shango?
What do you mean he's been captured? And Hekala will say, it be true, mighty Befek. Shango no longer answers to me call. And Befek will say,
There is,
go ahead.
yeah, her sister, one of Shango's children. She has like a golden staff that can shoot lightning and control the storm.
I'm aware of Shango's artifacts in the world. So, what does this have to do with me? This
She
seems
wants
to
to be.
This seems to be a problem between Shango's descendants over who should be his high priestess. How
I
is it
don't
my
think-
concern?
I don't think Zugalga wants to be his priestess. I think she wants to become a god, right? That's what she said.
She wants
She
to,
mentioned apotheosis.
she wants to become a god, says Sekala. Befek will say, and will narrow her eyes rather instead of saying anything. And Sekala will say, what do you all mean she wants to become a god?
What do you think it means?
I'm asking you, what did she say? What are her goals?
To become a
She
god?
She needs the stone that's in Booty Bay. Like another piece for the staff. I don't know. She needs both of those items.
I
The
think that's
The
more of
stone
a
was
me.
in Booty Bay all this time?
Like Stone of the Tides.
I'm
something like that.
aware. I'm aware, Goblin Lover. Are you saying you people stole another artifact from us? Never mind. Go on.
She needs both, and she has a staff. And I think maybe if she gets both of them, she becomes god. I don't know.
Cutting to the chase, she basically tried to force us to get this Stone of the Tides for her. And she has 3,000 people hostage to make sure we get it for her.
Hekala looks disturbed. The dwarf will pipe up and say, if the Great Shark Law tells me there's, you guys are talking about a convoy of ships, am I wrong?
Yes, with a massive undead dragon following them.
Well, the Big Shark Law just told me that that convoy was attacked by some other ships, also filled with not dead but dead people.
Shit. I mean, wow. Whoa, what a surprise.
Well, the Big Shark Law said that many of your people managed to get away, but there's
Oh, great.
But now the Zulgalga's dead but not dead people are, well, they're lost more or less. Except the dragon. She still has the dragon.
Well, with a dragon like that under our belt, I'm not sure what we can do.
Hekala will say, that is better than what I expected, honestly, but she hesitates a little bit, and Befek will look at her and say, go on, tell them. And Hekala will say, my grandfather Shango, he became a god when he was elevated by the great Akunda. He was Akunda's student. Zugaga could be maybe try to replace that Loa's blessing with sacrifices. It would grant her the power, but does she know how to do that? How to elevate herself?
Is that possible?
It's never been done before, but it is my cursed sister we're talking about.
I don't think we should let her try.
We are not going to let her try. The dwarf will say, well, she just lost her, whatever sacrifices she intended to make, so I guess she's suffered the setback, if that helps.
I guess the thing is, Sulgalga isn't just one person's problem, I think. At this point, she's a problem to everyone, really.
I still don't see how she's a problem to me, says Befik. In my eyes, this just seems like a squabble between Shango's followers. And if Zulgaga were to become a god herself, well, her domain doesn't really have much connection with my domain.
If you're not gonna help, then why are you here?
Because you asked for me.
You can at least be a bit more polite.
Why should I? Do you know what her people did to me in these past few years? I've helped them for millennia, but they've enslaved me to the blood god to fulfill his ends.
Okay. You know what? I guess we should, just like hang up and maybe call up the blood god,
Perhaps you should. Anything else? She asks the other people in the room.
Please help.
Anything else?
Blood tried.
I have. I'm very peeved off.
Do Benjamin and Bladebeard say anything?
Not really, I'm just looking at the ground.
I mean, if you don't want to help, then don't hide in your bushes.
If you ever come to my jungle, dwarf, I will see you very soon. And Befek then disappears.
What a piece of work.
Yeah, I mean, what could you expect from a pussy god?
Do not speak like this about the law.
Can't believe I got trash talked by a big cat.
Perhaps you deserved it. Next, she asks.
So
Can we
We
bring
have-
up that blood god that you were enslaving her to,
I don't know, I certainly don't like the sound of that.
Yeah,
Like
Bud,
a
blood.
bit of a deal with the devil.
It's too boring on
Bud don't like the sound of enslaving god of blood.
We are not enslaving any law. We're asking for help. I don't relish the idea of asking Haka for help either, but with just Gong and Johnny and Akunda, I don't know if we can defeat Zulgaga.
well,
Fine then.
let's call the blood god.
That sounds like a terrible idea, maybe.
Oh, shut up. Isn't
Yeah,
your
I mean-
friend on the ship?
Well, if it means going back to some evil to do something, I'd really rather not.
I couldn't care less right now.
I mean, good and evil are just, just stories that children believe in. There's no
Somebody
good and
smart.
evil in the world.
Haka be very, very real goblin lover. Do not take him lightly.
Yeah, but he's not evil, right?
She does not respond.
See,
That answers your question, Bladebeard, but not in the way you think.
Would think Benjamin right? He usually is, so probably a good idea to follow Benjamin's lead.
Mm-hmm. I guess we'll just stay on this island forever, huh?
That's not what I said. I'm just saying that maybe we should try contacting the other one.
I mean, look at this. Her kind. They're called blood elves. Are they evil?
That's okay. Why is Hakar called the Blood God?
Hekala sighs and says, because he beat the law of blood when you probably don't really remember this, but us Gorobashi also had an empire once, and part of the glory days of our empire was owed to Hakar. He offered great boons to us, but at the same time he required constant appeasement to sate his whims to help us.
Does
Eventually,
it not remind you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Eventually, that appeasement became too much, and the Zandalari helped us take him down. The past few years, some misguided members of the Gurubashi relied upon him to try to revive our empire, and agents of the Horde took him down with the aid of the Zandalari.
Does that not remind you of anyone, Bladebeard? Of a certain sharp someone? Sacrifice for power.
Alright. For once I agree with Benjamin.
So, do we go to the Forgotten One?
I guess so.
You Go ahead.
What's his deal? Does he sacrifice people and stuff?
I do not know. He was someone we worshipped once. She reaches into her robe and pulls out a very old-looking tablet and says, "Found this reference of him while looking for the Loa to help in our fight. It does not say his name, but it does say how to call for his aid."
Is it true what they say that the lowest power depends on how much followers they have?
She ponders for a little bit and says, "Yes and no. It certainly helps, but when you become a Loa, you have power by default, let's say. As to why this one was forgotten, I cannot tell you." Well,
Yeah, let's call him up.
Oh, okay. Hopefully nothing bad happens.
okay. Hekala will, as with Bethek, proceed with a ritual, but instead, unlike with Bethek, you will see that she's constantly cross-referencing the tablet to see if she's doing things right, and you see that she is maybe occasionally mispronouncing something, and then she quickly corrects herself, etc., etc. She appears to be unsure, but eventually she makes a motion with her hand towards the ground, and all of you are surrounded by dark smoke for a little bit, and as you start like clearing away the smoke, you see from the place where Hekala put her hand on the ground, she has now withdrawn her hand. You will see once I put it on screen, this gentleman look at all of you.
I figured it was him.
Yeah. He looks at Hekala first and grins and says, "So, the trolls have returned to the old ways once again." Hekala says, "Please, mighty one, we require your aid." And he says, "I have nothing to discuss with the followers of a different law." And Hekala once again looks at all of you to like, "Help out, please."
I don't follow any law.
I never seen one of your kind before. Who are you?
I am the famous Captain Bladebeard.
Why have you summoned me?
We need your help to defeat a wannabe god witch.
And who be this wannabe god witch?
Her name is Ugalga. She's very powerful.
He laughs out loud. Laughs for like a good 10 to 20 seconds.
So what's your name, forgotten one?
You be in the presence of Mueh'zala, the god of death.
Hello. I am Buhd.
Now tell me, why should I help you fight against my own servant?
What?
Oh.
Hekala also has like a shocked expression. The dwarf and the Zandalite troll like take a few steps back.
Oh, Ugalga serves you?
She is a useful tool for now. She promised me 1,000 sacrifices. What can you offer me to top that?
Well, I
Is
guess
it really
yeah.
worth talking to you?
Who are you? He
Nobody.
says to Lyri. He like leans down at you, and as he leans down, you smell like just pure rot and death. And he says, "When
I
the
make a
god,
stank face.
when the god of death speaks to you, you listen, little mortal. I once had the domain over your kind as well. I can smell the ancestral blood in you."
I'd much rather talk to the god of blood than you.
Mueh'zala laughs and says, "So, anything else, my dear?" He asks this of Hekala, who is still too much in shock to reply.
So Zulgalga works for you, hmm?
A useful tool like any other.
Okay. Can you go now?
No. I think I'd very much like to stick around for a little bit. Where is this place? Who are you lot? Why are you interested in Zulgalga?
We're in, Udum. Yup.
Are you? In the background, you see like Hekala frantically looking over the tablet to like figure out how to like unsummon him, unsuccessfully so far. Mueh'zala looks around and says, "I see you have other Loa on your side, and they're keeping this place hidden from my servant. Well, allow
You're
me."
old, huh?
What'd you say?
You're old, huh?
I was here before your kind knew how to speak.
God, what a dweeb.
So, I think I'm going to let my faithful servant know about that there are a group of frantic worshippers seeking to bring her down. I'd very much like to ask her to send me your souls. And he grins at you. The collective you.
I kind of frown at him.
Maybe don't do that. Maybe, eat a sandwich. That sounds like a better idea to Bud.
He makes a gesture with his hand, like rising up towards the sky. And then he laughs and disappears. And suddenly, you feel rain dripping down on all of you.
Oh, thank God. I
Bud did
assume
not
talking
like
to
him.
literal gods would feel a bit more grandiose.
I don't know if the rain is a good sign.
Can we just hurry up and talk to the god of whatever, blood?
I honestly would rather fight alone than to make a deal with this.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good idea anymore, but think.
What's the worst that could happen?
The dwarf will say, there's a big hurricane surrounding all the ocean, all the southern ocean anyway. The shark loa kept it away from this island, but now it's raining here too.
She's coming for us.
Wonderful, great.
Ka will say, there's little time. Do we ask for Ka's help, or do we not?
What else can we do? There's nothing else to do on this island. I kind of glare at her.
The dwarf will say, the big shark loa said that the big raptor loa will be bringing some help, but I'm not sure they'll be here in time.
We held her off once. I guess we can do it twice.
Are you really? I kind of scoff at Benjamin.
We strong together. We can do it.
Yeah, right.
She has hostages. Once she gets here, she's gonna kill Meridia and all the blood elves in front of us.
Well, I'm sure she'll kill me if I make a deal with the blood god.
Well, she has 2 loas on her side and the power of a third, my grandfather, says Hekala.
If you three want to go and mess around and wait for Zelgarga to turn up, then so be it.
I think we should get out of
I
here.
want to talk to that blood lower.
Hekala looks at the rest of you, awaiting your decision.
Well, but did learn running away did work last time, so might be a good idea to retreat and fight another day then.
Well, there's not really anywhere to retreat to.
Their ocean.
Oh, I'm sure the
Nice
big,
one, genius.
I'm sure the big shark law can take us away from here, but we should really consider our options. Surely the blood law isn't that bad, is he?
Well, considering the story we were just told, well, he's not a nice fella.
Fine, you three leave.
Well, we're not leaving because it's not possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then just sit here and cry and complain like a baby,
Can't we just ride on sharks again and get out of here?
Would do that.
In this weather?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hekala will say, even if we don't call for Haka's aid, we should still talk to the Loa that are on our side. Tell them about this forgotten one.
Well, at least we learned a little bit of information for what it's worth.
Yeah, whatever.
So do we try to call for Haka's aid or don't we?
We do.
I say we don't.
Probably not a good idea.
Bladebeard, she looks in Bladebeard's direction.
What did the old dwarf say? What's his vote?
He seems to be inclined that you guys should, but he will defer to your decision. The group's decision. That you guys should contact the Blood Law, but again, he will defer to your decision.
I vote no.
Okay. Then Hekala will sigh and say, probably for the best. So, shall I call up the Law that are on our side?
Since we're stranded here, I think it's best that we try to formulate some sort of plan with them.
I storm off. I'm not having this.
But a good point was brought up. She has hostages, so our plan should account for that.
Hekala nods and says, anyone important to you? She means the collective, not you, Benjamin.
Well, there's Meridia, the archmage we traveled with, and there's Lyri's brother. And probably more blood elves. I'm not sure they're of any importance to her.
And a couple of my crewmen.
Hekala sighs and begins a ritual. You see the dwarf, like, he walks up to the shore and takes out his knife and slices his palm and drops some blood into the ocean. And out of the ocean, thanks to that, you will see a spectral form emerge, that of a big shark that will turn to look at all of you, like taking all of you in. Lyri, even though you stormed off, you will see this because it is very visible. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to return, just that it is in your mind's eye, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as Hekala continues, more of these spirits will show up. First, your familiar Gonk, as you all know, as well as a big lizard, for lack of a better term, that by process of elimination you would deduce would be a Kunda that the troll that Hekala talked about. And as they all, like Avengers, assemble, Lyri, you will hear the familiar voice of Johnny in your head that will tell you, I know you'd be upset right now, but just wanted to let you know that Johnny always have your back no matter what you decide. Feel free to ignore that if you prefer, Lyri. It is up to you. Otherwise, yeah, all these spectral forms show up all around you, and Gong will look around and say, so is this it then? Only the four of us? Hekala looks down in shame. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hekala looks down in shame, and Gong shakes his head in disappointment and says, "So, what has happened? Above board, would you like Hekala to info dump all this stuff to the lower so that we can save time?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So she does that. Gong looks disturbed, and will say, "There is a ship approaching one of my followers in Zuldazar. She will be here by tomorrow." Gra will say, "Zolgaga can be here by the hour." And Hekala looks at the group of you to hear your guys' opinions.
Is there any way to delay Zolgalga?
Closer she gets, more control over my first mate I get, Brignir. His hands are tied, but maybe he can do something.
Wait, can I hear them talking about Zolgalga?
You see them talking, but and you can probably hear some things, but probably not the entire conversation. But you're free to return or do or say anything whenever you'd like.
I'd kind of approach so I'm in earshot, but not too,
Sure.
close.
Sure. Yeah, so you would hear the conversation as well. Above board of the other NPCs, the Blood Elf Lady looks in absolute shock and holds out her knife in a defensive position, terrified, but says and does nothing. Otherwise, the Orc looks confused at the sight, and the Night Elf twins continue fighting with each other. What was the last thing that was said?
Sorry. Yeah.
When Zugalga comes closer, I can.
Oh yeah. Right.
Brignir, he can tell me what's going on her ship, but I don't think he can do much more.
A member of your pack asks Gong.
Kinda, yeah. And we have a special connection. I don't know. I can communicate with him.
I will approach the group again, but very, very annoyed and kindly distressed.
Okay. The Loa look at each other, and Gra will say, "I would have preferred to avoid this option because I'm honestly diminished. My temple was destroyed not too long ago. But Akunda for the first time will say, we should do what needs to be done, my old friends. We can offer you a portion of our power."
I look at Bladebeard and I kind of frown at him.
Round.
Yeah, the law will continue. One of you already has one of our blessings. Gonk will turn towards you, Lyri. You bear the blessing of Johnny, do you not?
What's that mean?
It means I be having ya back, rich man. You hear the voice in your mind.
Okay, I nod my head to Gung's question then.
Buhd, the thunder lizard Akunda will look at you and say, I can sense that you have issues with your memory. Would you like to become my champion? And I can promise to aid you should we ever meet face to face.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea, Buhd. Sure, yes.
Okay. Gra will turn to Bladebeard and say, you know the ways of the ocean, like this dwarf did, do you not?
Yeah, me and the ocean, we have a special connection.
Then I am willing to allow you to become my champion, at least for this fight.
Great, I love sharks. My favorite animal. You're cool.
And Gonk will walk up to you, Benjamin, and say, I can sense in you that you mourn the loss of members of your own pack. I can help you with my own power in this coming fight. I think you and I will get along, let's say.
Well, I'm thankful for the help.
Above board, each one of these Loa will provide all of you a small boost in stats that I will write on screen. Above board, you also could have gotten Bethek and Hakar's blessings as an option, and they would have provided different stat boosts. I'm going to go through each of these blessings one at a time, but I will also mention, just because you guys agreed narratively, and I think narratively these respective blessings make the most sense, you are also allowed to switch them around, okay? If you think the stat array doesn't suit you or whatever. So
That would be kind of dumb. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll go with the raptor.
well, if you can justify it in character, which shouldn't necessarily be difficult because, it's a tense situation and all that good stuff.
Yeah, alright.
So going in the order that I have written down, Benjamin, where is the damn thing? My mouse is acting up and I dislike it. Okay. Benjamin. Gonk can provide you a +2 in forceful and a +1 in careful. With his blessing. Okay?
Yep.
And you feel a surge of strength, but also a surge of certain predator instincts, so to say. You kind of visualize what it's like to stalk your prey in the jungle and the importance of pack tactics and working together with your pack or your teammates or your squad mates or whichever term you would prefer. And you would also gain a little bit of his ferocity. Is the justification for all that. Next, Buhd. The blessing of Akunda would give you a +2 in clever and a +1 in flashy. Okay?
Okay.
The flash is quite literal.
Yeah. You feel a connection with the weather around you, hence the flashy part. But more importantly, you get sudden surges of memory. Above board, I'm also going to give each and all of you an aspect, an advantage that all you can use. But above board, this would mean that, say hypothetically, just in a hypothetical scenario, Buhd would be fighting a wizard. With this blessing, you would get sudden flashbacks of times when you've fought a wizard before, and you would know like how to counter these kinds of people. It wouldn't necessarily interfere with you like it did with the Blood Oath ship, where it made you like go into a bloodthirsty rage, but rather it would be small flashes of insight. Make sense?
That makes sense to me. That's cool.
Next, Bladebeard. Grow will provide you a +2 in quick and a +1 in clever. You would feel yourself, again, sort of similar to what Benjamin experienced. You would get like this insight of how to hunt, but this time in the ocean, and the importance of keeping up with your prey, becoming faster than it, and you would feel like this sudden surge of speed. The clever part, Grow is also a Loa that, how should I say this, loves to hear stories and has knowledge of the deep, so to say. And you would feel like your lore of like of sea creatures and all of that, which was already fairly vast because you've traveled the seas of Azeroth for quite a long while, you'd feel that lore expand even more in your mind, and you'd be able to conjure up knowledge as necessary. Make sense?
Yeah. Perfect match.
And Johnny, Lyri, would provide you a +2 in careful and a +1 in sneaky. Above board, Johnny as the Loa of trash, but also of the downtrodden, pretty much. He is well connected to those who have had to, who are not very well linked to like the good society. You feel the insight of people who like live in sewers or are in outskirts of cities, etc., etc. People who don't really fit in with society. People who have to be careful for pretty much every moment of their lives, who have to watch every corner at all times, which obviously would make you more subtle and also much more careful about everything around you. Make sense? So once again, let me know if any of you would like to shift these blessings around if the stats don't fit you or anything like that. The Loa are open to it, though it may take like some convincing for, say, Johnny or Akunda. Up to all of you.
I think I'm fine with mine, honestly.
Okay.
Though I'm curious
Yeah.
what the blessings would be for the ones that we missed. Did you have stuff written down for them too?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, I bet the cat was like +2 in sneaky.
probably sneaking quick, to be honest.
Do you want me to let you all know? Like-
Sure, let us know what we missed.
Okay. Bethek would have provided you +2 in sneaky and +1 in quick. Hakar would have provided you +2 in flashy and +1 in forceful.
And,
I honestly
Mueh'zala?
thought Karl was gonna be super OP.
He... Not necessarily, but he would have demanded a heavy price, as would be expected. Also above board, like I mentioned, I'm giving all of you these aspects that I'm typing on screen right now. These aspects you are able to use as you would your typical aspects in combat. So say you need to invoke a fate point to improve a roll or whatever, you can also invoke one of these aspects, like you call upon the power that the Loa has bestowed upon you. Okay? Make sense? Okay. So, again, last chance. Let me know if you guys would like to switch things around or any questions or whatever like that.
I am good.
Okay. Otherwise, unless there's anything else, for now, I think it's as good a place as any to end today's session. What do you all think?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say
okay.
that's a good point to start.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did you all think of today's session? Less action-packed than before, I'll admit.
It was cool.
It's fun.
Not a lot happened, but I did like the ending where the Loa all showed up and gave their powers. I was not expecting well, I was half expecting Mueh'zala to show up when you were like a mysterious old Loa. I was like, there's only so many of those. I'm willing to bet one of them is Mueh'zala.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to say anything because I was
Yeah, it's gonna send our souls to the jailer if we die.
oh no, not Zobald.
Well, the machine of death isn't broken yet. So not to the jailer, but he would get your souls if Zogaga deigns to sacrifice you in his name.
Yeah, I didn't above board I was like, a car, that's not a good idea. A Mueh'zala, that's not a good idea either. That's actually worse. Mueh'zala's worse.
Yeah. Hakar would have been willing to aid you, but he would have demanded a heavy price.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been worth it.
Yeah.
That would just have been another Zalatath, and we already have enough of those.
Yeah.
Also, +2 in flashy. I mean, come on.
I'm
When it's
still
flash.
I'm still kind of waiting for Zalatath to like double team up with herself in this campaign. Like there's just there I know because the one with Zalatath is AU and the other one is somewhere. It'd be fun.
I honestly think she wouldn't ally with herself, at least not without the intention to betray the other self.
I mean
Yeah.
that's the fun part. Like I'm entertained by that idea, I guess.
I mean, the void is like the this pretty much distilled chaos and all that. It could definitely happen, but she has her own goals. Regarding what you mentioned, Bladebeard, about Hakar giving flashy, basically I was first off I came up with like the stat array of the Loa who would 100% aid you, and then I like Befek and Hakar were meant to fill the holes left by those because to like make all combinations pretty much. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
And I definitely thought that Hakar he's very flashy. He demanded like very ornate sacrifices all the time, and he's very forceful, so that would fit the best for him.
Makes sense. I was just making a joke.
Yeah. Flashy, yeah, probably not the most useful one. But yeah, this session, I was expecting like to pull the twist of, oh yeah, Zogaga serves Mueh'zala, sure. But I wasn't necessarily expecting you guys to prepare for a final stand here, to be honest.
Oh, were we expecting us to run away?
Run away, or like you would decide, oh, let's not contact that mysterious Loa and we will have more time to prepare and get those allies that Gonk mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of shifty that they did that, but
The lore characters are always late.
maybe I would have been more for running away if somebody talked to my character, but she's still kind of cookie.
Makes sense.
She's not Cookie.
You're bringing up references people will not understand.
I know, but I had to.
This
Yeah,
day and age.
I was thinking of ways to get Mueh'zala on our side, maybe to lie to him or something, but I didn't come up with anything.
Yeah, if Bud was smarter, I would have been like, she's gonna betray you, but, you know.
If I was around for the first part of the campaign, I would have totally tried to get the Panther, but
I will say, even though Zogaga is working for Mueh'zala, I was definitely open to the possibility of you convincing him to side with you guys instead. But
did you even have like stats sheets for him?
Oh yeah, but he would require quite a lot of convincing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
She promised him like 10,000 souls.
1,000, yeah.
1,000, yeah.
1001.
Oh, yeah. But I don't think any of our characters would want
Have
that.
the knowledge.
Yeah. Makes sense. And don't consider it like a failure, just like that was an option and you went with the other option.
Anyway, I'm excited for Zolgarga fight. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
like that I got the shark
don't-
claw.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know if it's gonna be a final fight, but something cool's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I will say I had something else in mind for what she would be doing, because I did not expect Mueh'zala to inform her of your position, pretty much. I mean, I knew that's what he was going to do, but again, I wasn't expecting that you guys would summon him. So you've kind of derailed her plans a little bit, but her plans are already very derailed considering what has happened.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even then, she's so far ahead that even if she loses here, she still has like a ton of stuff to backtrack on.
I mean, the Legion is against her now, so that's cool.
I know, but she'd have to lose so hard if we like beat her outright here. She'd have to have like the worst session ever if she loses everything.
Oh wait, I think we can do it.
We just
I mean-
gotta steal her stuff.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have a plan. I've been hatching this plan for a while, and Larry has. So, you know, I'll see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then
We steal her stuff. Bud shoots his cannon. Works out.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have high sneaky. I just take her stuff while she's not looking. Bud can do something to distract her. I don't know.
She
Bud's
does.
distractions are a bit, well,
Bud flexes at her.
I mean, I was expecting the twist to be that like Zolgarga messed with Bud's eye, and she's been looking for his eye the whole time.
No, she didn't. I'll be honest. No, that's not the case because she never in a million years would have expected a massive explosion and in the ensuing chaos, Bud to get away. Pretty much.
That's fair.
She's smart, but she's not like a prophet or anything like that.
She's not Prophet Zol. Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. By the way, Bud, I removed your level 4 consequence because it goes away at the end of this session.
Woo!
You're the only one with consequence left.
Yeah.
Gouged by a Sindori. I wonder whose fault that is.
It's your fault first.
I know. I'm gotta have fun with it.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I am looking forward to next session, and I need to make some plans. A lot of plans.
Next
actually.
session is like 2 weeks away, right?
Yep.
Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear viewers,
Yeah, we're gonna be on board.
It's my fault, but we will be taking a break next session because I need to go away on a wedding and I won't have my computer with me. So yeah, not my wedding, by the way. So sorry about that. So we will be back not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that.
And on that Saturday,
yeah.
Teeironor is going to get married to the grind.
To the what?
To the grind. You're going to make a really cool session.
I have stuff in mind, but obviously I need to flesh it out. I appreciate your confidence, but I hope I'll do right by all of you, is what I'll say.
Okay. That's totally not scary at all.
I wanted to ask, when you guys, obviously you predicted that it would be Mueh'zala when you called up that Forgotten Loa. Did you guys expect it to be him to be working with Zolgarga?
No.
I number one wasn't expecting him, and number two wasn't expecting him working with Zolgarga.
I was
I'm-
expecting
Same.
him, but I didn't expect the Zolgarga thing.
I want to say I'm not surprised. That's how I feel about it, because she is pretty evil. So, I'm kind of in that camp of where I'm like, I could see it. I wasn't expecting it, but I could see it coming, I guess. Like, it's one of those things where it was either Hakar or Mueh'zala.
I think my biggest concern is how to, not necessarily how to like make the upcoming fight cool or whatever, but how can I, because things are happening faster than I expected, honestly, which is kind of ironic considering our series, but how can I explain like why are they allied with one another, for instance, without like info dumping basically? Or
I don't know. I mean, we'll see, I guess.
yeah,
But
that's my problem to figure out, and I'll give it a good long think, pretty much.
maybe
Oh.
you know we'll fight a little skeleton of Zul'Gorga one day. That'd be funny.
Also, there's gonna be like 1,000 characters
Oh
in a same
God.
fight.
Yeah, it'll be, well, the Loa won't be participating directly, at least the Loa on your side. They will be acting.
But the low on their side will be participating, is what you're saying.
No.
I mean, I can't say one way or another. Partly
Okay.
because I haven't designed that fight yet, so I don't know myself.
How many undead were on her ship, like post explosion?
You don't know. I can tell you like a rough estimate of how many there were before the explosion, but you don't know the result of the explosion.
Okay, then how about before?
Roughly 100.
Okay.
Wait, and is it only her boat, or is it like the whole fleet?
I'm only saying her boat.
Okay.
Oh, the rest of her fleet was attacked, right?
Yeah.
But she still has the dragon. The dragon will probably get there pretty fast.
I guess.
Definitely
Does anyone have
possible.
the dragon soul?
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm hoping for
And
throne.
this island's really tiny, right? So like, how are we gonna fight on this thing? It's horrible.
I mean, that is all the more to Zul'Gorga's advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this island is like a massive turtle Noah.
This is actually well, this is like the Wandering Island, but it's
Yeah, but a Noah.
yeah, it's a different one. Oh, this is what's the turtle one called in Zandara that gets
Shenzhen
killed?
Su?
No, the one in
No,
Zandara that gets killed.
Torgon.
Torga,
yeah.
yeah.
He would be
It's like-
alive in this time period, but he decided not to help you guys.
Mm-hmm. That's sad. He has literally no excuse.
Honestly, the excuse is that when Hakala called him up, it took like an hour to get the point across and she gave up, pretty much. But yeah,
Well, if we die, he'll tell our story.
yeah, definitely. Probably, maybe.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to Johnny dying, to the Iron People dying, for everybody we know dying.
Johnny is not on board the Zul'Gorga ship. He was on board one of the other ships.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he was taken away.
the Burning Legion saved him.
Yeah,
Well, you don't know his fate, but yeah.
wonderful.
I
What a
mean, you
mess
did
we've
mention
made.
you wouldn't kill characters off screen for no reason. So.
Well, no, I actually said the opposite. What I mentioned was if they were to die off screen, it wouldn't be like on a whim, basically. If that makes sense. I wouldn't just kill someone off screen randomly. It would be for a reason, basically.
Okay.
That doesn't mean Johnny's safe, but it doesn't mean I'm like going to just throw him away just because.
I mean, a lot of our friends are probably kind of safe-ish because they're not important, so it's fine. Although it probably means it's actually easier to kill them off, so...
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I am glad, even though I did not expect for the things to go this way, I'm glad they're going the way they did. So, any other thoughts before we go into our shoutouts?
Yeah, I wonder who the old dwarf is.
Yeah,
A
I
mysterious
wonder.
character, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely obvious for you, DoomGoblin, but I wonder if it's obvious for anyone else.
I mean, it's a dwarf who, you know.
Sure. Any other thoughts before we go into our shoutouts?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I guess. I still haven't talked to that Zandarari guy. It's been like 10 episodes long.
Well, the immediate the reason why the reason why Johnny wanted you to talk to him was like so you could get a friend basically. but he realizes now is not the time for that. But yeah, I've rolled some dice in the background, and well, first off, dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening to us. But the dice have decided that DoomGoblin should talk a little bit about himself and promote himself. Could you please go ahead?
Yeah. It's me, DoomGoblin, and I played Captain Bladebeard, the champion of sharks. And yeah, I usually I draw stuff, and I mean that's about it. You can check me out on Twitter and some other sites. And yeah, that's it.
He draws very well. I featured your drawings in the episode before this and the one before that, at the beginning of your expression sketches, and they're
Yeah,
well done.
Thanks.
Next, according to the dice, would be Skoll. Could you please go ahead and talk about yourself?
Yes, I can. I'm Skoll Shorties. Played as Buhd. I make World of Warcraft content videos on spoilers, speculation, what ifs, machinimas, all that stuff. And I also will eventually do stuff on Halo and Witcher at some point. I don't know when, but yeah, in the future.
Looking forward to it. I've honestly never played a Halo game, but I'm a Witcher fan, so I'm generally looking forward to it.
They're both pretty good games. They're my only other games I play besides WoW, really, or Blizzard games, I guess.
I understand. Thank you, Skoll. Next, according to the Holy Dice, would be Sir Thompshire. Could you please go ahead?
Well, you can find me both on YouTube and Twitter as Sir Thompshire, and I make machinima. Well, kind of rarely nowadays, but I still make them, I guess. And I also make renders that I post mainly on Twitter, either for the campaign or just some random renders I make just randomly. Yeah, that's all.
His stuff is really well done. Thank you. Next would be Zelris. Could you please go ahead and talk about yourself?
Oh yeah, hey, I'm Zelris and I make stuff on the internet, and sometimes I do machinima, sometimes I do other stuff. I just do whatever I want to do. And that's it, really.
Yeah. Give her channel some love. She reached 250, if I'm correct. Yeah, she reached 250 subscribers, and give her channel some love. She deserves it. Thank you, Zelris. And I was your DM, Game Master Teeironor. I honestly haven't had much time to make videos because of Arrow stuff in the past few weeks, but I do want to return in the next few weeks. I usually do videos focusing on video game lore or real life history, and sometimes mixing it all together. I've been doing Elder Scrolls videos lately, and those have been a lot of fun because I love the Elder Scrolls universe and all of that. Otherwise, thank you to everyone for watching and listening to us. We shall be back in 2 weeks on Skoll Shorties channel, and yeah, we shall see you all then. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Oh yeah.